Most of the world is dealing with some level of conflict or instability. Yet, there are a handful of countries out there that have quietly figured something out. They're the places where people actually sleep soundly at night. Have you ever wondered why?
You might look at these nations and assume they just hit the geographic jackpot. You know, a random roll of the dice. But true, lasting peace? As we'll see in this explainer, that is entirely calculated. Section 1. The Peace Index Leaders.
Look at who actually leads the pack here. The Global Peace Index ranks 163 countries on things like societal safety and militarization. And Iceland? They've held the absolute #1 spot since 2008. We're talking nearly 2 decades at the top, with a tiny population, no standing army, and virtually zero serious crime.
Right, and they aren't some isolated anomaly. The rest of the top tier, places like Ireland, Denmark, Austria, New Zealand, they aren't randomly scattered across the globe. They actually share a very distinct profile. They tend to be small, wealthy, and neutral.
Part 2, 4 Pillars of Peace, a clear modus operandi. So, these incredibly safe nations actively cultivate specific patterns. Let's click the first puzzle piece into place: priorities. Instead of pumping money into massive military budgets, these nations deliberately funnel their wealth into education and robust social safety nets.
And that clicks perfectly into the second piece, which is trust. Because those social safety nets are so strong, everyday citizens actually believe their government and their police forces are working for them, not against them.
Then we have the third piece, neutrality. We often misunderstand this one, but staying out of other people's wars isn't about avoiding a fight. It's a highly calculated, strategic choice designed entirely to protect internal stability.
The final piece of this formula is incredibly low inequality. The economic gap between the absolute richest and poorest citizens in these countries is actively, deliberately minimized compared to pretty much anywhere else.
Section 3. Arab World Context, Regional Rankings.
So, how does this global formula hold up when we zoom in on a specific region? Well, Qatar leads the Arab world, sitting at 27th globally, followed by Kuwait and the UAE. And they stand in stark contrast to their neighbors, whose overall rankings are heavily pulled down by active, ongoing conflicts.
Part 4. Built, not given. An uncomfortable truth.
Decades of data point to one inescapable conclusion here. These extremely safe nations didn't just wake up lucky. They built their environments deliberately, layer by layer, through decades of strict policy, smart investment, and serious restraint. Exactly. When a nation has the safety thing figured out, it is entirely the result of their long-term choices. It is never just geography or chance. Safety really is built, not given.
So, the next time you find yourself wondering why some places sleep soundly while others are constantly on edge, remember that peace isn't something you're just handed. It's something you actively choose to build. So what are your priorities?